80/20th Principle. Introduction: the secret to achieving more with less. What if you could achieve vastly better results by actually doing a lot less? The 80/20 Principle by Richard Koch flips our traditional understanding of hard work completely upside down. It reveals a hidden, deeply unequal pattern governing our world, where a tiny fraction of our efforts consistently produces the tremendous majority of our rewards. This book is not just another time management guide. It is a profound philosophical shift in how we view productivity, business, and personal happiness. By learning to identify the few things that truly matter, you can free yourself from the exhausting treadmill of constant busyness. You are about to discover how to multiply your effectiveness while simultaneously reclaiming your precious time and energy.
Point 1. Most results come from a little bit of effort. Have you ever noticed how you seem to get the most done right before a deadline? It's like all the hard work suddenly pays off in those last moments. This is a perfect example of the 80/20th principle, which shows that a small amount of effort often leads to most of the results. This idea isn't just about personal projects, it pops up in all sorts of areas. For instance, many businesses find that just 20% of their products bring in 80% of their profits. And did you know that about 20% of drivers are responsible for 80% of traffic accidents? It's usually just a few people who drive recklessly while the rest are careful. The reason behind this is that not all efforts are equal. A few key actions can lead to big results, while most don't make much of a difference. While we often talk about it as an 80/20 split, it can actually vary a lot. Sometimes it might be 70/30ths or even more extreme, like 99.9 to 0.1. The main takeaway is that a small number of causes can have a huge impact on what happens. Take the movie industry, for example. A study from a while back showed that out of 300 films, just 4 of them, only 1.3%, made up 80% of ticket sales. Those big hits rake in the money, while most movies struggle to get noticed. This shows how the 80/20 principle works in different areas, from what we buy to how economies function. Understanding this principle can really help us use our time and resources better. By figuring out what really drives results, we can focus on what matters most and get more done. It also reminds us that not every task is equally important, which can help us make smarter choices. But this principle isn't just for work or business. It applies to our personal lives too. For example, a few close friends often give us the most support and happiness. Or just a handful of effective study techniques can lead to great grades. Recognizing these patterns helps us put our energy into what really counts. It's important to remember that the 80/20 principle is more of a guideline than a strict rule. The actual numbers can change, and not every situation fits perfectly into this model. Still, the idea that a small number of things can have a big impact is a useful way to think about improving our performance in any area. By keeping this principle in mind, we can better manage our resources, prioritize what's important, and get more out of our efforts. Point 2. Understanding the 80/20 principle, why life isn't always fair. The 80/20 principle is all about recognizing that life isn't always balanced like we think it should be. Many of us believe that if we put in effort, we should get equal rewards. But the truth is, things are often pretty uneven. This can be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. Take language, for example. Research shows that just 700 common words make up about 2/3 of what we say every day. If you include variations of those words, it jumps to 80%. That means a tiny fraction of words does most of the talking. It's a clear reminder that a small number of things can have a huge impact in many areas of life. Imbalances can happen because of feedback loops that make small differences grow over time. Imagine a pond with goldfish of different sizes. The bigger fish can catch food more easily, which helps them grow even bigger. This gives them an edge over the smaller fish, leading to a big size difference as time goes on. You can see this kind of thing happening in nature and in our own lives too. Even though these imbalances are natural, they often feel unfair. For instance, when a small group of people has most of the money, it raises eyebrows and sparks conversations about fairness. We expect that if we work hard, we should be rewarded equally. But the 80-20 principle shows us that not all efforts lead to the same results, and some can lead to much bigger rewards. This principle isn't just about language or money, it challenges our ideas of fairness. It helps us see that imbalance is everywhere and that it's okay. By understanding this, we can focus on what really matters and put our energy into the things that will make a big difference. This doesn't mean we should ignore fairness in our lives. Instead, it encourages us to think more deeply about how we measure effort and success. Embracing the 80-20 principle helps us spot what really drives success and use our resources wisely. While it might feel strange at first, it's a great way to understand the world and make the most of it. Point 3. Getting more done with the 80-20 rule. Think about your job for a second. If only 20% of what you do leads to most of your success, then you might be spending too much time on stuff that doesn't really help you. Taking a moment to think about this can show you where you need to make some changes. One way to use the 80-20 rule is to tap into the energy you feel when a project is almost due. When deadlines are looming, we tend to get super focused and prioritize what's really important. Imagine if you could keep that level of focus throughout the whole project. To do this, take a look at your work habits and see where you might be wasting time. A lot of people get stuck in the early stages of a project by overthinking things. Sure, it's good to plan, but if you spend too much time worrying about what could go wrong, you might slow yourself down. By recognizing this habit, you can work on shifting your mindset to take action instead of getting stuck in your head. Another tip is to regularly check which tasks are actually helping you reach your goals. Some tasks are super valuable, while others don't really make a difference. If you find tasks that aren't helping much, try to cut back on them, delegate them to someone else, or even get rid of them altogether. This way, you can spend more time on things that really matter. In the end, the 80-20 rule is all about working smarter, not harder. It helps you focus on what's truly important and cut out the unnecessary stuff. While it might take some time to adjust your thinking and habits, the benefits can be huge. By using the 80-20 rule, you can build a work process that feels both efficient and satisfying. Point 4. Using the 80-20 rule to boost your business profits. Firstly, take a good look at your products. List them out based on how much money they make and how well they sell. You'll likely find that a few products are bringing in most of the cash. For example, one electronics company discovered that just 3 of their products made up nearly half of their profits, even though they only accounted for a tiny portion of total sales. This shows how important it is to focus on those top products. Once you know which products are your stars, it's time to give them a boost. Make these products a priority in your business plan. Spend more on marketing, production, and getting them out to customers. This way, you can increase sales without needing to expand your product line too much. For instance, that same electronics company decided to focus on selling more of those 3 top products. They told their sales team to concentrate on doubling the sales of just those items, ignoring the less profitable ones. This clear focus helped them reach their goals faster, proving how effective the 80-20 rule can be when used wisely. You can also use this rule for other decisions, like figuring out which customers are bringing in the most money. By focusing on building strong relationships with these key customers, you can encourage their loyalty and get them to come back for more. The same goes for marketing. Focusing on the strategies that work best can lead to better results. Remember, using the 80-20 rule doesn't mean you should ignore the other 80% of your products or efforts. It's about being smart with where you focus your time and resources to get the most impact. This way, your business can stay flexible and ready to adapt while still playing to its strengths. By embracing the 80-20 rule, you can take a more focused approach to growing your business. It's a practical way to find opportunities, streamline your processes, and boost profits. When you apply this principle thoughtfully, it can help you achieve more with less effort, turning a simple idea into a powerful strategy for success. Point 5. Finding success by keeping things simple. In the business world, many people think that being complicated means being sophisticated. Big companies often have complex operations, lots of products, and wide market reach. While this might sound good, it can actually come with hidden costs. The truth is, too much complexity can hold you back, so simplifying things is really important for long-term growth and making money. Big companies usually juggle many different products and complicated operations. This complexity takes a lot of resources to manage, like special logistics, extensive employee training, and more admin work. All of this can drive up costs and create inefficiencies that eat into profits. Just thinking that selling more products will automatically bring in more money ignores these hidden challenges. Having a big product range doesn't always mean you'll make a profit, especially if the added complexity outweighs the benefits. Simplifying how a business operates can really help tackle these issues. By focusing on a smaller number of high-performing products or services, companies can make their processes smoother and cut costs. This way, employees can put their energy into fewer offerings, which helps them become more skilled and provide better customer support. Plus, simplifying things makes operations run more efficiently by reducing the logistical and administrative work that comes with managing a lot of products. The perks of a simpler business model go beyond just saving money. When companies focus their resources on a limited number of products, they can benefit from economies of scale, meaning that producing more leads to lower costs per item. This can boost profit margins and give them an edge in the market. A simpler operation is also more flexible, making it easier to adapt to changes and grab new opportunities. Research backs this up. A study of 39 medium-sized companies found that those with less complexity were the most successful. These companies sold fewer products to a smaller group of customers and worked with fewer suppliers. This focused approach led to higher profits compared to their more complex peers. The results show that cutting down on complexity not only saves money, but also improves overall business performance. Simplification also helps create a clear and aligned culture within a company. When employees aren't overwhelmed by a huge range of products, they can focus on understanding and improving the core offerings. This focus boosts innovation, customer satisfaction, and operational excellence. As a result, the business becomes stronger and better prepared for long-term success. Choosing to simplify doesn't mean getting rid of variety or stifling creativity. It's about strategically figuring out what really adds value to the business. By identifying and prioritizing the most profitable and impactful products or services, companies can do more with less. This focused approach aligns with the idea that 20% of efforts often lead to 80% of results, highlighting the importance of concentrating resources where they matter most. Of course, simplification comes with its own challenges. It takes a willingness to make tough choices, like cutting out underperforming products or reducing supplier relationships. But the benefits far outweigh the initial discomfort. By streamlining operations, businesses can unlock new levels of efficiency, profitability, and growth. In a world where complexity often feels unavoidable, simplification offers a refreshing and effective way to succeed. By embracing this idea, businesses can cut costs, boost performance, and lay the groundwork for lasting success. Simplification isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset that helps companies thrive in a competitive environment. Point 6. Making the most of the 80-20 rule in your business. Let's talk about negotiations. They're a big part of doing business, whether you're chatting with customers, suppliers, or partners. Usually, negotiations come with a long list of things to discuss, but many of those points aren't that important. By applying this rule, you can find the few key points that really matter and focus on winning those. This way, you save time and increase your chances of getting good results without getting stuck on less important details. The 80-20 rule can also change how you market your business. In many cases, a small group of customers, about 20%, brings in most of the money. If you can spot these valuable customers and focus your marketing efforts on them, you can see great results. Personalized campaigns, friendly communication, and top-notch customer service can help keep these customers coming back, making them more loyal to your brand. Customer loyalty is super important for long-term growth. Once you know who your top 20% of customers are, it's crucial to keep them happy. Going the extra mile with great service, understanding their needs, and offering tailored solutions can build their trust and commitment to your business. This not only brings them back, but can also turn them into fans who spread the word about you to new clients. The 80-20 rule is also great for creating new products or services. By focusing on what your best customers want, you can make sure your efforts match what they need. This targeted approach can help you grow your market share while avoiding wasting resources on less profitable areas. A real-life example of this is a successful real estate broker who makes over $1 million a year, with a big chunk coming from repeat clients. His success comes from building strong relationships with his best customers. By prioritizing their needs and providing excellent service, he has created a loyal customer base that keeps his business thriving. What's great about the 80-20 rule is how simple and flexible it is. It helps businesses focus on what really counts, cutting out distractions and inefficiencies. Whether it's negotiating better, reaching the right customers, or developing products that fit their needs, this rule helps businesses do more with less. By bringing the 80-20 rule into different parts of your business, you can use your resources better, work more efficiently, and grow steadily. Its flexibility means it can offer useful insights no matter the situation. The key is to keep analyzing and improving your processes, making sure your efforts stay focused on what really makes a difference. Point 7. Making the most of your life with 80-20 thinking. The 80-20 principle isn't just for businesses. It can really help you in your everyday life too. By thinking in terms of 80-20ths, you can figure out what truly matters to you and focus on those things. This way, you can boost your happiness and feel more fulfilled. Usually, we think that everything is equally important. For example, we often treat all our friendships the same, but 80-20 thinking shows us that some friendships bring way more joy and support than others. In fact, just a small number of your friends, maybe 20%, might be responsible for most of the happiness you feel. It's important to understand the difference between analyzing things and just thinking about them. Analyzing means looking at data to see what works best, while 80-20ths thinking is more about trusting your gut. This is especially useful in your personal life, where you can't always measure how much joy a relationship brings. Ask yourself questions like, who are the people that really matter to me? How much time do I spend with them? These questions can help you see which relationships are the most rewarding. Once you know which 20% of your relationships or activities bring you the most joy, 80-20 thinking encourages you to focus on those. It's all about quality over quantity. By spending more time with the people who mean the most to you, you can create deeper connections. This principle can also help you set boundaries and manage your time better, so you're putting your energy into what truly enriches your life. This idea isn't just for relationships. It applies to other parts of your life too, like hobbies and self-care. Think about what activities make you the happiest. Maybe a few things, like reading or being outdoors, give you the most relaxation. By spending more time on these activities, you can boost your overall happiness. 80-20 thinking can also help you simplify your daily routines and cut down on stress. Take a look at your habits and see which ones really help you reach your goals or make you happy. For instance, if a small part of your morning routine gets you energized, focus on that and try to minimize the less helpful parts. When it comes to challenges and responsibilities, instead of stressing over everything equally, figure out which issues really matter. Put your energy into solving those big problems and don't sweat the small stuff. This way, you can get more done with less effort and feel less overwhelmed. In the end, 80-20 thinking helps you live more intentionally. It encourages you to spend your time and energy on what truly matters, leading to a life that feels both efficient and fulfilling. By adopting this mindset, you can find more opportunities for joy and growth in all areas of your life, from your relationships to your daily habits and beyond. Point 8. How the 80-20 rule can boost your happiness. We all want to be happy, right? But sometimes it feels like life just gets in the way. Many of us get stuck in boring routines or jobs that don't make us feel great, just waiting for the weekend to escape. That's where the 80-20 rule comes in. It's a simple way to figure out what really makes you happy and what drags you down. Start by thinking about your daily life. What are the 20% of things you do that bring you 80% of your happiness? And on the flip side, what 20% of your life is causing 80% of your unhappiness? This little exercise can really help you see what matters most and what you might want to change. Once you know what's not working for you, it's time to make some changes. If your job is a big source of stress, think about how you can make it better. Maybe it's time to look for a new job, ask for different responsibilities, or even cut back on hours. Don't just accept feeling unhappy. Take steps to create a life that feels good. When you spend less time on things that don't make you happy, you can focus more on what does. For example, if work takes up a lot of your time but doesn't bring you joy, cutting back could give you more time with family and friends. Those connections can really boost your happiness. Also, think about how you spend your free time. What hobbies or activities make you smile? Whether it's reading, being creative, or enjoying nature, make sure to carve out time for those things. They can really add joy to your life. Using the 80-20 rule isn't just about happiness. It can also help you feel less stressed and more satisfied with life. By focusing on what truly matters, you can simplify your daily routine and let go of things that weigh you down. This shift can help you feel more in control and empowered. In the end, the 80-20 rule is a great way to reshape your life to fit what you really want. It encourages you to take charge and create a life that's full of joy and less negativity. The result? A happier, more fulfilling life where you live with intention and authenticity. Embrace this idea, and you might just find the happiness you've been looking for.